Welcome to the Afterlife Podcast. This is your host, Pooja Chilakuri, and today I'm honored to be interviewing Rosaline Bosco. I just finished reading her book, and I'm very excited to introduce her and to have a conversation with her regarding the research that she has done on consciousness and spirituality, as well as the experiences that she has had. Thank you so much for joining me today, Rosaline.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for inviting me to your show. And I'm so honored to be in your podcast because you have had a tremendous spiritually transformative experiences. So thank you once again for inviting me to your show.
Absolutely, Rosaline. It's an honor. And I would really love for you to share with us, Rosaline, what made you curious about researching spirituality and just your story, how you got on this journey.
I've been almost telling this in all of my interviews. It was actually a traumatic event, not for me, but for my whole family. My mother became really sick and she was not treated correctly, and she had to have her leg amputated. And because of that, the whole family underwent a lot of stress. And the stress, it's been like almost 30 years now, but still we have the trauma. And all of us kept asking, why did this happen to her? Because that was when uh, I began to start questioning the faith. Until then, I had no. I just believed in whatever religion had told me to believe. I had no questions. So this was about when I was like 21 years old. And after that, I became a little bit disillusioned with religion. So I would like to clarify that I became disillusioned the with religion and not with my faith, or not my love of Christ was not affected. So I remained in the faith, but at the same time, I started questioning some fundamental views of a religion. And this is how my search began, Pooja. And after that, things just started happening one after the other. So my mother had I hadn't finished my basic education when I got married. So my mother assured me that I would do my higher education. But it's very funny to say this. After her passing, she helped me in so many ways. In fact, her reference, even after she died, her reference allowed me or secured me a place, a job in a school run by the Salesians of Don Bosco in India, because she had worked there. And somebody a priest who was there, gave her reference. And I was able to join that school because of her reference. So even after I now thinking of it, I believe that uh, she has made such a difference to my life even after her passing.
Mhm.
So this is how my journey began.
So, I know that's really traumatic to lose a parent. Like, I cannot even imagine that, Rosaline. But what was like for you, like after her passing, did you feel her close by? Do you think you were like she was with you, like communicating? Because a lot of people have told me that when they have a loved one pass and they're exploring, like they get on the spiritual journey, that they're able to feel the presence of their loved ones.
Definitely 100%, but I didn't know it at that time. With the passage of time, I understood that she has been there with me, definitely, because in my religion, in which I was brought up Roman Catholicism, I was not made aware of all our ancestors or spirit guides, or that these people. I thought angels were separate entities and our ancestors, and they didn't have any role to play after after they passed. So, but then I could feel a presence, a very small, but it was very reassuring. Like a small thing would be, I would hear a small noise in the kitchen when I was alone, or when I was feeling very lonely or something like that. These kind of things which cannot be ignored, but at the same time, they were not very uh, frightening, or something that would create fear. And I would like to tell you that the Mandela effect, which I experienced, was quite crazy, Pooja, because I would find, I would care a key would be in its place, and I would lock a door. It was not the main door. Okay, it was a door, kitchen door, and I would lock the kitchen door. And in the mornings, invariably, I would find the door uh, unlocked, and the keys would be in a different place. It was so many other things, which I mean, I think I was too dumb at that point of time, and they had to go to extremes. I mean, my guardian angel had to go to extremes to try to wake me up. And these were the nudges that I was given by the universe. And then during another incident in 2013, there was a serious medical issue in my family. And at the time, I was given 100% support. If, I mean, I mean, again, the struggle was there. All the human physical effort had to be put in, but the same time, the support and the efficacy of that procedure was really, I mean, uh, exemplary, I would say. So,
So, do you think, Rosaline, like when you say it started you on a spiritual quest, uh, do you have like any one specific incident that really, like a lot of people say they start the journey, but then like the way you're describing, feeling your mom's presence or this Mandela effect, like were these just little things that added up, or was there like one specific incident that got you like really curious?
yeah, a very specific incident was when I had given my jewel to my daughter, and she had it in her with her, and she was living in a different place. So, and one day she told me that she was unable to find it, and she looked through all her her uh, cupboards and everything. She was still unable to find it. And then after some time, I visited her, and in the lock, when I opened and put my hand in the locker, the first thing I found was that
Mhm,
object there.
mhm,
So that was something really, I mean, out of the world, because it shows that they can. I mean, these kind of things. This is what I think is called the Mandela effect. Or so that's how this happened, and this incident is very fresh in my memory. Yeah.
mhm, mhm. And so, did you find that while you were exploring, a lot of people, when we're exploring, we're shifting in our awareness, in our perspective, but some of the things that we are conditioned from childhood to believe, that comes up and resists it, right? Did you go through any period of doubting, or how did you handle that?
Actually, my father was a very devout Catholic, but
Mhm,
then he was also open to other religious teachings. Especially, he used to watch Mahabharata, and I did not have, but I used to be a little bit skeptical when I was young, thinking that we were Catholics, but my dad is watching all these. But then I began to understand that he was open-minded.
Mhm,
So this open-mindedness also gave me a lot of curiosity. I did not want to,
mhm,
I mean, completely
mhm.
negate anything.
Yeah.
And especially because also my experiences were teaching me otherwise. So
Mhm,
they were teaching me different things. So I tried to learn. I started educating myself on
mhm,
all the other religions. Like for example, I went into uh, non-duality or Advaita.
mhm,
So I was really impressed with the. It was totally new to me because being a Christian,
mhm,
studying about Advaita was, but I tried to understand it, and then I
mhm,
tried to understand it from a scientific perspective
mhm,
because Advaita says that everything is one. We all come from non-duality. Everything comes from a single consciousness, and I tried also to somehow combine the double slit experiment
mhm.
and quantum entanglement with all these concepts. And so I was able to reach some clarity in these. And I think I have mentioned all these in my book, The Brimstone
Yeah.
Fallacy.
Yes. I just
Yeah.
finished reading it, and I really love all of the issues you've addressed in that book, Rosaline, and I'll get to that in a minute because you have had some supernatural sightings that you've been able to capture on camera. And I
Yeah.
would love for you to share some of that with us and explain what it is that you're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
So, these are some of the things I've recorded. Before starting off, before I show you this, I was completely blown away by one thing that I saw, which also uh, created a great desire in me about the alien, uh, about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Already I have some footages which can be connected with the aliens. But
Mm-hmm.
then one night while I was walking in my terrace, I saw a golden orb, and the golden orb shapeshifted itself into a kind of a streak. So
Mm-hmm.
I was sharing with somebody the other day that it looked like the a streak of fire that Moses was talking about. I mean, that Moses saw, which in the burning bush, it
Mm-hmm.
just shot into Jupiter. But then it happened in no time. There was no time, so I did not have the. I couldn't record it.
Mm-hmm.
So that I have a lot of experiences with orbs, with the lights. So let me open it. And,
And if somebody's watching and listening and they may not know what is an orb, are those angels or souls of the departed? What do you think?
I believe that they are angels. See, in consciousness tells us that our belief shapes our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Our belief shapes our consciousness. So I believe that these are souls which are very near to me. I sometimes I visualize them also as angels. So there is nothing to prevent uh, you from because Pooja, there are a lot of spirits which I mean, lot of good energies which are supporting us. It's not, I mean, restricted. Sometimes these near-death experiences say that they have even seen people whom they have not met in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So, great ancestors of theirs. So, as far as I know, I might not even have met these supporting angels or higher self or ancestors who are there. So, I'll
Yes.
just play this for you.
Sure.
Might be a little bit, I mean, not very,
I can see it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's big.
Yeah. You can
Mm-hmm.
see that this light is, it just vanishes. So, can you see it just stopped?
Yes.
Just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely disappeared. So this is one of those which I saw. If you notice carefully, you can see a lot of orbs in this. Actually, this was I took this only. I mean, I made a footage only last month. If you look at the date, it is 7th of February
Mm-hmm.
2025 on my CCTV. Can you see those orbs of light?
Looking. Yes, it just flashed for a
Y-
moment. Yeah, I see it. Yeah,
There were so many orbs.
I
Can
see
you see
them.
yeah,
I do. It's very quick. It's like little flash and
yeah,
then
yeah, they
gone.
just,
Mm-hmm. They just, yeah. This one
yeah.
had a streak as well.
Know when they appear, you could see them like passing out, flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So shall I move to the next one?
Yes, sure.
About this one, I didn't even know what it was, Pooja, until somebody who had watched the Jeff Mara show told me that it was a kind of it was called the Ibani. Um, and there is not much sightings of these except in Mexico. Uh, so since at that time I didn't know much about it, I just kept a minimum. Uh,
Mm-hmm. This one is,
can you
wow.
see
Yes.
this something like a snake
Yeah.
playing with an orb? Can you see
Yes.
that?
There are two.
Ah, yeah, there is something like a snake. Actually, if people want to check out, they can check out what an Ibani is, Ebani,
Mm-hmm.
and it was playing with an orb. Then I can show you one video where there is an orb drawing energy
Wow. Yes,
from,
please.
yeah, from a plant.
Mhm.
Actually, I mean, can you see this orb? This is
Yes.
not the one I was talking about. This is just another footage of an orb.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it appears inside I mean, the gate.
Yeah, this is very clear. It's like a ball.
Yeah, yeah. Since I've seen a lot of these orbs, I can differentiate. This is very dense, isn't it?
Yes.
It's,
It's very dense. It's
yeah,
almost like a solid, it feels like
yeah,
you can touch it. Yeah.
yeah. And it doesn't move like an insect. You cannot. I mean, think of it as an insect. Can you see it was changing shape a little bit?
Yes, I saw it. When it went
Yeah,
close to the gate, it was changing shape.
yeah. And then this one is really interesting. Um, uh, but you have to notice it very carefully. You'll have to look at the right side of behind the gate. Uh, Otherwise, you might miss it. You
Mhm.
can see two eyes appearing behind the gate in a very synchronized manner. There's nothing there. Everything is done. Can you see the eyes?
Yes, yes. They are, yes. Mm-hmm. They were bouncing around. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no light there, no chance of light. And this was recorded on my CCTV. If somebody had been there, that person also would have been recorded, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, since the CCTV caught it, was only this. So I named it as Alien Eyes at that time because I didn't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But then you can look at the date, Pooja. It is in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
This happened in the year 2022, much before all these alien things I mean, became very um, popular or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. it disappeared. But
Yeah,
Rosaline, these are really very, very clear footage, and it's
yeah.
on your
See, it's
CCTV.
coming back. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead. It was coming back. I saw it.
Yeah. And the synchronicity of the movement, no, so both appearing at the same. Can you see that? How?
Yes,
Yeah. And you can see the, bell icon showing that there's
yes.
something there
Mm-hmm.
on the CCTV. So that this is like something like a plasma in the sky, which I saw. Um, it happened very quickly. It happens at the beginning of the video. So it just happens at the beginning of the video. I can, I mean, uh, actually, there was no rain or anything of that sort at that time. Um, you can catch it only at the beginning of the video. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. You want me to play it once again, or is it okay?
I think this is okay.
Yeah.
Um, do you have the video of where the orb was drawing the energy?
Yeah, I will check. Yeah, I have that.
Okay.
This went on for quite some time. And the interesting thing about this puja is that the orb becomes bigger after it draws energy from the plant. It is small in size in the beginning. Can you see the orb?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It takes some time to come to the plant. It just hovers here and there like that. And this also was recorded in 2022. I'll try to move it a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because it goes on for quite some time.
It's hovering over around in that area. It's pretty neat
Yeah,
to see it.
yes. I can feel this at nights, especially. See, it's coming back now. See, while this was happening, at the same time, I was using my phone to, because this was quite interesting. I used to take teach my online classes. Um, and my CCTV is right next to me. So when something like this happens, after the class, I have the opportunity to take.
Yeah,
Let me see.
the bell came on. It's something there.
Let me
It's
see. Let me
detecting.
see. Can you see it now? It's
Yes.
quite long, so I just
No problem.
extended
I
it.
see it.
Can you see now that it has increased in size?
Yes. Wow. That was
Yeah.
so clear.
Yeah.
Rosaline, how
So
did you even think to, is there something that triggered you to look at this footage or, like how did you even realize that something like this is going on?
I told you I used to have my I used to have my sessions, and my CCTV used to be right next to me.
Yeah.
So by chance, when I used to check what was happening, or if somebody had come in or anything like that, then I would uh, I don't know whether this is happening only to me, because it's become a very usual. It's become kind of usual to me. So this is a white and a red orb. It's quite small, but then can you see this? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just flashes. Did you see that red? Actually, there was a little bit of a red and a white flash.
I saw the
So
white flash.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so as I was telling you, this has kind of become usual to me. Um, so I actually this one was taken on January 9, 2024, and this was very good. This began like a golden ball, a big golden orb, and then it changed and went off like a streak of fire. I was able to see this golden orb almost three times. And the last time it appeared to me was when I told you it shape shifted, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And shot into Jupiter. Shall I stop sharing, Pooja,
Yeah,
or do
I
you?
think this is pretty good. We've seen a
Yeah,
lot of good footage. Thank you so
yeah.
much for sharing these, Rosaline.
uh Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
No,
take allowing me to take this.
of course. No, and if people are interested, I will also link your YouTube channel so they can go and find more videos there as well. So I'll make
Thank
sure I
you so
have that in
much.
the show notes. And so, Rosaline, when you started seeing these orbs, how did you know that this was something, you know, eh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know, did you learn about them? Did you,
As I told you, and my father was very forward. He
mm-hmm,
was well educated, and he gave us, he used to speak about these when we were small children.
mm-hmm,
Actually, he used to speak about reincarnation, even though it was not a belief in Christianity. He used to speak about. So all these things, uh, I think, must have opened my mind even without me
yeah,
knowing it.
yeah,
And it was after a long time. See, the help I received during various points of time when I zeroed down on a house and wanted to buy the house. The struggle was always there, Pooja. The
mm-hmm,
struggle was always there, but then the way it happened was like, most of the time it was like a miracle. So
mm-hmm,
these things made me believe that there is something good which was helping me out.
mm-hmm,
And in my book, Co-Create with Your Universe, I speak about certain principles,
mm-hmm,
um, uh, as simple as random acts of kindness, or practicing random acts of kindness, or showing love. So many different, like 16 or 17 uh, princ-
mm-hmm,
principles I've. So I believe, my belief is that these things are what helping us. All these
mm-hmm.
small things, the way we love people, the way we spend our time for others, and all these.
Mhm. That is so true. So true. Is the topic of near-death experiences. When I was reading your book, I think I really appreciated all of the things that you've learned from it. Are there things from these stories that stand out to you that you'd like to share one or two things?
Definitely. My husband jokes that I must have had a near-death experience even without my knowing when I had a surgery or something like that. Uh, the near-death experience, the believers come back to say that they experienced this oneness, and the
Mm-hmm.
reviews, the life reviews are quite a shocker. No, if anybody goes through all those reviews that the near-death experiences have, even in the case of Anita Moorjani,
Yeah.
there are some cases where the experiencer experiences the other person's perspective, the pain and the suffering of the other person. Something what we do to the other person, we become them. So this
Mhm.
also reiterated my faith in oneness consciousness. You become the other person, isn't it?
Mhm.
So that is one thing that stands out in my memory. And another thing is the
Mm.
reincarnation aspect, because all of them, almost 95% of them, come back to say that they've seen their past lives.
Mhm.
And in the case of Anita Murjani, what was quite striking was it's not that she hurt somebody, she did not love herself. Was
Mm.
one more striking aspect.
Mm.
And I realized that at that point of time, it's you should have a balance. It's not that you should become a doormat, because she keeps on repeating that you needn't become a doormat, and that itself can cause your sickness or disease.
Mhm.
And in the case of a neurosurgeon, he saw his sister
Mm.
after during his near-death experience. He saw his sister, who he had not even met in his current lifetime.
Mhm.
But then he went back and later saw the picture of his sister and identified that it was the same that he had seen in his near-death experience. So that's brilliant. I mean, uh, wonderful experiences.
Mm.
And many report seeing Jesus in their experiences. Uh, uh, According to their, religious beliefs, some see Buddha,
Mhm.
and I remember a case of a Westerner who saw Shiva,
Mhm.
and these kind of, uh, I mean, very amazing.
They really
Mm.
are, Rosaline. And I know I
Yeah.
love to binge watch. I love to interview those who've had, near-death experiences. And there's
Yes.
so much to learn. And I think
Yeah.
one of the things that you talk about in your book, because I just finished reading The Brimstone Fallacy. And I
Yeah.
think it's the shift in perspective about God. Because many times religion will portray God as very punitive or harsh, right? Like a slave driver. But when you look at these near death experience stories, they cannot even describe the love that they feel. Do you want
Yes.
to? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Definitively. And one of the main reasons why I started this channel was to tell people that God is not vindictive or vengeful. Because when we talk about Christianity, everything that Jesus Christ wanted to change about the Old Testament was that God is unconditional love, like welcoming the prodigal son and not stoning the woman who was condemned by society. So, from the beginning to the end, Jesus talked about unconditional love and forgiveness. But then this has been, oh, there's a lot of element of guilt combined with religion and condemnation and judgment, and people are being misled by religious dictats because of each of fundamental concepts practiced by different religions. So, and actually, when I did a show with Alex Ferrari, he was very happy to read my book, The Brimstone Fallacy, and he began the interview by saying that it appealed to him very much because I gave a lot of uh, uh, my own simple examples to show that God cannot be a vindictive or a judgmental person. And in this context, Pooja, I would like to tell you that um, this there is a concept of karma, and Anita Murjani, she says actually that it is not it there is she doesn't speak much of karma, but it might be the soul's purpose. So
Mm.
when we think of karma, it becomes like a kind of a punishment or a judgment, or somebody else is inflicting something on you. But when you look at it as a soul's perspective to evolve, then it is you yourself who understand that you have to change certain aspects of your consciousness.
Mm.
So this is highly revealing. But religion believes that somebody else from the outside is going to judge you and punish you, which is
Mhm,
exactly the opposite of
mhm,
what Christ teaches.
mhm.
This
Absolutely,
is my
absolutely, Rosaline. And I really love you touched in your book also about the concept of heaven and hell, because many, many religions have this concept of afterlife as a place of reward or punishment. And I think that is so counterproductive to our soul's growth, you know. So do you
definitely.
have any thoughts on that? I love what you've said in your book. So anything you want to share with us?
Recently, I interviewed Peter Panagore, who has had a wonderful near-death experience, and he says he saw the light, and he felt that he had some kind of, a darkness from his previous life. He was able to see his past lives, and he had some kind of a darkness which he tried to hide from the light. But
Mm-hmm.
then the light made him, almost he plunged into the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And what he says, I agree with what he says about hell. He says that he created his hell at that time when he was trying to hide the guilt.
Mm-hmm.
My thought is that when you realize your darkness, and when you become aware, and when you try
Mm-hmm.
to get over it and move on, you can move on at any point of time in your life. So, why would God want to punish you when you have moved on? That seems kind of, a revengeful God to me. No, you did this, but you changed, but yet again, want to punish you for what you did earlier.
It's
That's
so
it.
counterintuitive, right? Because Jesus's last words on the cross, what we have recorded is, forgive them for they do not know what they're doing. So how can
Yes,
we take those
yes,
words, right?
yes,
And then
yes,
imagine that we're all going to be condemned to hell because of the things, we've
yes.
done. So, right?
Hmm.
And I agree, Rosaline, because this is a very, very difficult one to get through to a lot of people because we've been so deeply conditioned to believe in this. And then many
Yeah,
people think that's the only way we're going to have some kind of accountability. But that's not true because you just mentioned the life reviews, right, that we
yeah,
see from near-death experiences. And I think also a very important point that you make is it's nobody's judging us. We are just looking at it and judging it from the perspective of did we achieve or did we fall short of what the soul's purpose was, right?
yeah.
So,
So, sorry to interrupt. When you look at this book, God has our backs.
yes,
I mean, my what I've written there is God has a master plan for every one of us, and His network is very powerful. This
yes.
I wrote before like 6 or 7 years. So I felt that all these books were written in a very short period of time,
Mm,
and this highlight. You must have definitely heard about the Course in Miracles, isn't it?
yes.
So, I talking about forgiveness. So everything that this is a channeled text, and everything that Jesus has spoken about in this is about forgiveness. And even though you uh, you think that your brother has sinned against you, you don't know the truth, the real
Mhm,
picture. You don't have the full picture.
mhm.
So,
Yeah,
as you say,
yes.
yes,
Very important. Thank you. Thank you. No, it's very important. The reason I'm having these conversations is because, a lot of people are becoming very disillusioned with religion, but also it's hard to let go because the shift is scary. When we don't know if we let go of the ground we're standing on, where are we going to land, right? So I really think it's important to have these conversations so people can just be educated and aware of a different way of thinking, right?
yeah,
So I
definitely,
very
Pooja. Yeah,
appreciate that you've written and you shared quite a bit. And there's actually another thing in your book. It's a quote that I love, and I'm going to read the quote and then, with your permission, and then I'm going to want your
yeah,
thoughts on this. Because we are talking about religion, and in this quote, you say, Rosaline, religions and social structures preach exclusivity, while only inclusiveness can save us from great danger. So I think we were talking about humanity here. So can you just comment on that a little bit?
Yes, because at one point of time, people thought that only at least Christians believed that only they will be saved, or this was some kind of a privilege handed to them on a platter. For what reason? If we don't believe in reincarnation or that concept, why would there would be chosen people, and why would be they be given this special privilege? So that does not resonate with me at all.
Mhm.
So sorry, I just lost my. Can you
Yeah.
repeat? Yeah, that is why we we cannot believe ourselves to be. If we believe us, if somebody believes themselves to be exclusive, then if I don't believe in inclusivity, then I am mocking God,
Mm.
because I think that God is partial, and he would not, I mean, that apart from the gender, God, the source, would not show the same love to another
Mhm.
of its creation, which is, which is not the right. As we progress in our thinking, inclusivity becomes a must out of the simple understanding of what God is. It's not God who which is prejudiced or partial, or chooses a part of its creation and condemns another, is
No.
my
Yeah, that's
humble.
awesome. That's beautifully said, Rosaline. Thank you. No, sometimes it's very hard because when we get very deep inside of doctrine or dogma, it doesn't matter which religion, right? When we become fundamentalists, no matter which religion, we start excluding everybody else.
Yes.
And
And
that's where the yeah.
yeah, I agree that I mean, everybody has a kind of a inbuilt bias, which because of our cultural and social conditioning. Yeah. Uh, but I think we will have to make an effort to overcome it. And
Yeah.
then I think that will take us closer to God in the
I
first
think so.
place.
I think, and actually, you've said that in your book. I really love it, so I'm going to read another quote from it. And I think in that same section about religion, you also say religion could become a unifying force of great power if identities emerge to create inclusiveness rather than exclusivity. When separateness is given up and global interconnectedness happens, Christ consciousness will pervade the world.
Yes.
Yes. So loving everybody, right? Loving each other, even with the differences.
Yes. That is what Jesus was. I mean, that was why he came into the world, to
Yeah.
give this message.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Rosaline. I really appreciate it. And then one question I have, and this is my last question, is it's a two-part question. What do you think about suffering, and where do you think we are headed as the humanity?
Uh, Currently, I feel that there's a great shift in consciousness, like, oh, because of the network and all this connectivity. Uh, Many people are talking about this spiritual change in shift of consciousness and suffering. I personally, without suffering, the suffering that my mother's trauma brought me,
Mhm.
I really wouldn't have taken the next step. I would have lived life as it is. So I think suffering it's cruel. It's a cruel thing to say, but again, when you look at it from the point of view of the soul's purpose,
Mhm.
so there are near-death experiencers who, I mean, remember their the
Mhm.
pre-birth experiences of the soul. So they tell us that they have come with this plan. So I
Mhm.
think suffering is an inevitable part of our life.
Yeah.
And
That's really beautifully said, Rosaline. Thank you. And thank you for sharing everything with us and all that footage and your journey. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pooja, for having me on your show.